Meeting the Amherst Township Trustees called to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Abraham?
Here.
Lynch?
Here.
Uhrig?
Yes.
Kish is present. We have a quorum. I have the June 25th, 2024 regular meeting minutes of the Amherst Township Trustees. The meeting was called to order at 7:01 p.m. by Lynch. The pledge to the flag and roll call, Abraham, Lynch, Uhrig, and Kish were all present. Also in attendance, G. Lynch, K. Smarsh, C. Nyhart, and Deputy Fuller. 6/6/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Uhrig, to approve the June 11th, 2024 regular meeting minutes as presented. All ayes. 6/7/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Uhrig, move to approve the financial reports and payment of items on the payment listing as presented and with reservations. All ayes. 6/8/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Uhrig, move to approve that the May 2024 credit card account transaction detail has been reviewed per policy and is accepted as presented, subject to investigation. All ayes. Under correspondence, Trustee Lynch presented a copy of the OPWC Round 39 schedule and directions received from the County Engineer's Office. Applications are due back to the County Engineer by September 6, 2024. Road Superintendent Smarsh will be completing an application for Rustic Hill concrete work. Under reports, the Sheriff, Deputy Fuller reported Amherst Township had 23 alarms, 44 premises checks, 30 traffic stops the past month. Under ambulance, Sandstone Joint Ambulance District meeting is August 1st, 2024. Date may change if a quorum is not met. Under zoning, site plan review meeting for Ledbetter Real Estate, Marsh Engineering, State Route 58 on July 2nd, 2024. Also the same evening, an amendment to the general development plan for Stratton Corners. David Kohler / Cambridge Services proposing a 53-acre, 73 homes from 65 development with 2 access points will be heard. Under Road, Park, and Cemetery, Road Superintendent Smarsh reported that everything is running smooth. All regular maintenance up to par. Started mini grant catch basin projects yesterday. Under Stormwater, Trustee Uhrig will file an application for 2 properties, the Township Hall and Yard Waste, for a reduction of stormwater fees by the end of the week prior to the deadline. Complaints were being handled by the designated individual. The next regularly scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, July 9th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Amherst Township Hall. 6/9/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Uhrig, to adjourn at 7:31 p.m. All ayes.
Okay, are there any changes or corrections to the June 25th meeting minutes? Okay, I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Uhrig?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Nope. Any financial reports? Payment listing? Let's see. There is really nothing out of the ordinary. It's all monthly bills except for the Dovin Land Works, which were for the mini grants.
One of
Or, I
them.
mean, for the mini grant for the catch basin.
Yes.
So I have, what paperwork do you need so we get reimbursed?
Just the payment voucher.
I have a copy of I did a check so that we would have the back stub or,
Yeah, that's, I just need to prove that we paid it.
okay, and then give you a copy. Well, after they all sign it, I'll give you a
Okay.
copy of that.
Yep.
So that was the only check that was out of normal spending.
Right. Well, a nice thing is with that spending is we'll get some of the residents' money back for what they pay in their stormwater fees, take care of that. But that's off. I know that people don't realize how much work is behind this. It's a simple project, but it's lots of work.
Yes.
Our year-to-date revenue is $865,319.59. Yeah, David?
Yeah.
And our year-to-date expenditures are $590,781.71. Anyone have any questions about financials?
Other than I assume Linda, between you or Kevin will let us know when that or Chris, when the reimbursement comes in.
Mhm.
Not sure who'll see it first. All right, then I'm going to make a motion to approve the financial reports and the payments on the payment listing as specified in the documents provided by the fiscal officer. Any seconded?
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes.
The number on that, Chris?
72.
72.
7224.
Okay, is there anything else, Chris?
No.
All right, I don't see anyone from the general public, so we'll move on. In terms of correspondence, you do have a copy from the Ohio Auditor of State, Keith Favor, and our fiscal officer, Chris Kish, did send this notice out to everyone by email due to a new state change in the state law that took effect on March 28th. Is the state auditor was to come up with a training regimen for required fraud reporting, and that was released on July 1st, and we are all mandated to complete that training, and the auditor will be looking for the proof that every employee, that includes both zoning boards, so the Board of Zoning Appeals, the Zoning Commission, all road personnel, all elected officials. The only ones that appears that on our list that won't be impacted would be our architect as a contract person, but everyone else must take this
Or
training.
Or
And
horseman.
Tom Horseman, which are contractors, but the training is all online. You must complete it by September 28th of this year. And there will be two things. If you do it through your own email, you will get a certificate emailed right back to you. And then there's also, consider it like an affidavit, you have to sign that acknowledging that you actually took the training throughout all of it. Because there's no questions or answers or test on it, but they want your formal signature on the provided affidavit that you did do the training. Where that would most likely be the case, they don't want someone to turn it on and walk away from it, or there is the other option, if people don't have access or have trouble, it can be done as a group training. If you can't get it at home, you can come down to the township. I know, Linda, this would probably be a burden on you, but, set it up where, since you'd be using your email, but then they'd have to sign the affidavit, mark who was the employee or elected official that took the training. I know multiple individuals have already taken it. It's pretty easy training. I don't see anything different from what we had before when the law was first passed on the fraud reporting. If you recall, we updated our policy manual, and the policy manual was just required that we got written acknowledgement from all the employees that they were aware of fraud reporting. The main thing is because of some of the shenanigans that happen in different political subdivisions is that anybody feels comfortable in reporting that immediately to the Auditor of State so that it can be caught as quickly as possible with any type of financial hit on the taxpayer funds. So definitely, if you haven't done the training yet, get the training done. Chris, what I might do is just under the section of the agenda for you is just put down a question if the training has been completed by everybody. And the other thing is this training has to be done every 4 years, so it's not a once and done. So every 4 years, we're going to have to maintain a record to make sure that it's done again. Hopefully there are some reminders, but we may just include either on the agenda or we'll put it as part of our organizational meeting to make sure it's just a check, make sure that that training is done. Okay?
Yeah, I'm going to send a reminder on Sunday when I'm getting ready for the next meeting.
Okay.
Where is this training at? Is it
You received an
Website?
email, yeah, with all the
Website.
information.
okay? So we just go to online training again.
All you have to do is go to the email, click the link.
Right. Okay?
We're not gonna get some kind
Have
of
you
bug
done
off
any
it, are we?
email?
Pardon?
Have you done it?
Yes, I did it. It's, it'll tell you on there, it'll
It's 8
say 8 minutes, but I can tell you, it's, by the time you get everything loaded up, it'll be a little longer. I think I spent more time printing the documents out, scanning the documents, saving the documents, and sending them to Chris than I actually did in the physical training. But it's pretty easy. They give you some pretty obvious examples of, waste, fraud, and abuse that occurs, or can occur. But we've seen that even in some of our local communities where it's happened, at different levels, both local government, and in our case, all the way up to the state. You've seen our locals, we've seen it in the county, we've seen it at the state. But this won't stop it, but it's just letting people know that they do have the option, or actually not only have the option, but an obligation to report it if they recognize it. Okay, the other announcement is Lorraine County Stormwater District's annual meeting will be on Thursday, July 18th at 6:00 p.m. at Penfield Township. You do have to send in an RSVP to Alexis Allen, and I've included both her email and her phone number there. This is actually, she wanted the RSVPs by tomorrow, July 10th. So definitely let her know if you're going to be there one way or the other. Is there any other correspondence for David?
I have nothing to bring forward at this time.
Denny?
I have nothing.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to reports. I just want to mention for the ambulance board, there is a change in the date. I had mentioned at the last meeting there might be. So the meeting was changed from August 1st to August 21st at the Amherst Fire Station at 4:00 p.m. And there will be representatives from Life Care there at that particular meeting. You're welcome to join if you care to. Now I'll turn over to Sheriff Deputy Fuller.
Good afternoon. So I don't know if I mentioned last time, I don't think it was up and running, but we do have the reports now on our website. So if you go to LoraineCountySheriffs.com, up at the top they have those tabs. There's one that says Township. You click on it, and then you can click on your township, and you can get it. And it re-updates every 30 days.
Now it's available to everyone.
Correct.
So everyone will be checking on their thing
I was
first.
just about to say, you guys are all going to be snooping on each other now.
Yeah, and it'll all go out on social media.
But it's the easiest way we can do it because people are constantly, moving positions, retiring, things like that. So instead of always getting an updated email, we just have it there.
Okay,
It's
great.
public record anyways, so it's there. And then I'm going to be doing some research on fireworks. That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing for the next lifetime.
I was wondering
Because-
how your weekend went.
Well, I didn't work, but Monday, let me tell you what, I had a slew of voicemails and things that I had to attend to. But looking into it, your guys' fire department, I didn't even catch his name. I feel bad. I don't know his name. But he gave me a bunch of good information, so I'm going to look into that because that's why I came here, because I was told by a couple of citizens that they were going to be here.
Yeah, I
And
know
they
of
didn't
one
get
that
along,
called.
so.
One did call me. I don't know, there might have been others, and he
Mhm.
originally was going to come in, but since he knows there was a report filed,
There was.
he's been in contact with you, he's going to get that report. I gave him the link on our website to make sure he educates himself on the fireworks law, because we just comply with what the state law has.
Right.
We put in no additional restriction.
And I'm not a fireworks expert by any means. So when it says 1.4, I wasn't really too sure what that means. And
Chris can tell you.
yes, he told me what that meant. So now that I have a better understanding of what it is, I can kind of go forward. And he gave me the fire marshal's information. He specializes in this. So I'm going to look for him for advice on what I can do, because Amherst, Hidden Valley, they're so close-knit. The aerial fireworks just shouldn't be a thing, and he
Right.
just told me that those are commercial. They shouldn't be purchasing them anyway. I didn't know that. you have to have a special license for that. So I guess now I know, I'm more informed. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So,
And I assume you'll discuss that with your superiors, because I know that was one of the questions the one resident had, is what training is provided
Well, I
to
just
the officers.
actually-
I said, I really don't know.
well, fireworks, I mean, it's very unfortunate, and we're all low-staffed, and if we were to go to every single firework call in the 18 townships,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be no way. So I'm just trying to get, I guess, more help. I'm gonna see what this fire marshal has for me, and if I can get some sort of guidance, because I'm only one person and I have other townships, and I wasn't even working, so I'm trying my very best. I'm trying to see what else I can do.
Okay, well, there was about 9:30, there were 2 deputy sheriff cars
In
sitting here
Hidden
at the township hall, and I assume they were sitting there waiting for when the firework displays started and the calls would start coming in. But you're right, the density
yeah.
of Hidden Valley, any of the subdivisions, they shouldn't be sending off those big displays.
Well, and I didn't know that most of those were commercial grade. I didn't know that. Like I said, I'm not an expert in firework, and I don't claim to be. So I didn't know. Your chief told me. So that's how I came to know that knowledge just now. So going forward, I guess I will be doing more research and seeing, and then me not being there, it's kind of hard too. So I can't see the physical fireworks that they were setting off either, and they're long gone now.
Yeah,
So it's just tough. So I'm trying to do the best that I can.
yeah, well, that may be it. Again, well, you'll get the complaints throughout the whole county.
Mhm.
It's generally going to be the higher density areas that are the concern.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And,
Correct.
Those make it a lot easier of determining, do they comply or don't they comply?
Right. And I mean, it does state 150 feet from spectators in Hidden Valley. It's hard. And then you got to be 15 feet away from public road
Yeah.
when you're setting these off. So at that point, you're up into the lawn,
Right.
and then you got to somehow get 150 feet away from that.
Yeah, it's not going to work because most
Right.
of their lots,
And that's just aerial fireworks. Everything else is okay. Like
Yes.
the ground ones, like
I believe the ground ones are 50 feet.
What is 15 foot from a public road? Is that from the road right away, or is that from the road service?
I'm not
That's
entirely
the
sure.
question.
That's
both
just going
ways.
off of the Ohio fireworks.gov thing that I have. I don't know if it says right away or it says,
Yeah.
there's like a lot. There, you know what I mean? Like there's been so much that I had to do research on the past
Mhm.
couple of days because, like I said, I don't claim to be an expert.
Yeah, it can get pretty specific, and David, I would suggest you go to our own website. You can see the link there under the fire tab, and it'll also take you to the fire code and also to the Ohio Revised Code that deals with this. Did you get any calls, David, on fireworks?
No, that I did not.
Okay.
I did not. You received some, you said.
I received one.
One.
Just one. We did get several, which you've seen in our response to the residents prior to
Yeah.
the display
Yeah.
asking. You saw that, and all we did was give them that we have not put in any restrictions beyond what the ORC says, and we send out that standard notice, because you never know when people are writing. One for sure was opposed to fireworks, but the others, the way it was written, they could have been someone that supported it, just want to know what can I do and what can't I do. And keep in mind, throughout our township, it varies depending upon where you live. I can tell you where I live, there was a resident down the road that had, I can't imagine those were consumer grade. It was a huge display, but probably weren't a whole lot of complaints because, they've got their own roughly 10, 20 acres out there, and everyone else, no one has less than an acre of land. So it's not an issue by us, but you get down into the subdivisions, there's no way you can set those things off and comply. So that's where the issue is, and maybe next year, somebody from the sheriff's department will be, just drive around. If you come in right around, don't come in till it's dark. And if you come in when it's dark and you drive through,
Well, I
you'll see
know-
the boxes coming out to the front of the road, right
10
on the edge
o'clock's
of
a
the
good
road
time.
or on the road.
I can't find the seat now, so, but, Elyria, I know, did have
They
a
put-
unit
Yeah.
designated for fireworks this year. I don't know how successful that was, I
It
didn't
was
look
on the
into
front
it.
page of the newspaper today.
It was. They
They
only-
were busy.
Yeah,
Well,
they
yeah, I can
said,
imagine.
the Chronicle said approximately 200, I think it was maybe 185, 189. They cited about 10% of the people that got a citation because naturally, even with those two officers, the window of when the majority
Yeah.
go off is pretty short. There's no way they can be at 200 different places at the same
Right.
time, so most of them they went to, the display was done by the time they got
And
there.
that's the same issue I'm having. I can't, it's done. I'm coming on Monday, and I don't know what they actually, I know that they were aerial fireworks. I saw the video, but I don't know what the box.
That's why I'm just suggesting a patrol car going through.
Yeah.
Just within that window of time,
Mhm.
you will see where the gathering areas
Right,
are.
yeah.
If you start seeing some lawn chairs set up,
Yeah,
that's
we're-
probably a good indicator somebody's having a big display.
Right, next year, I think I'm gonna, obviously, I would have to go up the chain of command and see if we can maybe put aside a unit or have maybe a detail for hot zones that shouldn't be doing aerial fireworks,
Right,
for safety reasons, and see what I can figure out.
yeah. And again, even though people get upset in the more rural section of our township, that's,
Mhm.
you're not too concerned with somebody's, home catching on
Right.
fire. We've actually had an individual in a previous year, even when they weren't lawful by the state,
Mhm.
had his vehicle got burned up because someone shot one right through the back window.
Mm-hmm,
And he had complained for several years about the fireworks display of a local neighbor. And naturally, he didn't want to get into it because
Right.
it creates a lot of tension
Oh, trust
between
me.
people.
I know.
And it'd be interesting because none of them are to have any alcoholic, any
Right.
drug. I can
No.
assure you, there's a good number out there that are not complying with that section of the law and all could be cited for
Yeah.
violations of the fireworks law.
Correct, yes, yes, and, I'm trying my best to do what I can, and I'm gonna suggest and see what we can do for next year to
Okay.
potentially make this a better outcome than this year.
And we're aware of the staffing, and that's part of our standard template we put out to the residents. When they're complaining and it's not even a day where fireworks are legal by state law and they want us to restrict them, well, what good that would be a paper law that does nothing? And then the first question is, did you call the sheriff?
Mm-hmm,
Usually no.
right,
Well, I don't have a gun strapped to my hip, so I'm not going out there to
Right.
tell somebody what they're doing is unlawful. I can't write a citation, but if you call the sheriff, they can
Right.
take care of it.
yeah. Yep, well, that's all I have. I will try to figure something out for next year.
And you'll still get voicemails,
Oh, I know.
but at least they called you. That's good. Hey, you got any questions for Deputy Fuller? All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Sam D'Ambrosio let me know he wouldn't be here this evening. Yes, the only thing was we did have two preliminary site plans last Tuesday presented before the Zoning Commission, one from Ledbetter Real Estate, March Engineering. Their site plan review dealt with some units that they've got some retail areas they're talking about possibly, and then some units where people can work on vehicles and other types of work. I don't know that'll be a hot need for something like this, a lot of demand, but that's what they're planning on putting in. Our fire prevention officer was there to discuss the options to prevent any type of situations in the future in terms of the circulation and the water sources there. He also, which they did indicate they separate, they have these long building structures. He requested an aisle going through that matches up with the aisle of a different business down there with storage units, so they'd have easy access with the firefighting vehicles and also to a particular pond that's there now so that they can draw water. The other one was Cambridge Services. Their development at the southeast corner of State Route 113 and Oberlin Road. That's where they've been approved previously by the Zoning Commission and the trustees for a 65-home development on approximately 45 acres there. Because of meeting some of the requirements from the county subdivision regulations, they had to purchase some additional property. They're now requesting to put in 74 homes. Though they just had a preliminary site plan review, it wasn't a formal. At this point in time, it didn't seem like the zoning commission was real positive in going to a higher density there. So we'll see where the property owner goes from this point forward. Did I mention that the name of that development is going to be Stratton Corners now? That's the first time we've actually heard a name, so it's Stratton Corners is the name of the development.
So if we made a formal announcement of it, but yeah.
It was on the documentation
in the
we
meetings
presented.
on June 25th.
Okay.
It says Stratton.
Okay, and our fire prevention officer was here earlier, but I think he's gone now. Okay, we'll move on to roads, parks, and cemetery. Superintendent Marsh.
We are mowing, trimming, tree trimming. We started on the tributary ditch to the angled ditch. We started on that today.
Oh,
The mini grant catch basin project that was completed, and also just was completed was the storm sewer repair mini grant. That was just completed.
did the county engineer give you an estimate for Rustic Hill?
Yes, but it was wrong. And now I'm just waiting for the correction.
Are there any questions for Kevin?
No, I have no questions for Kevin.
The tributary to Angle Ditch, I know you're doing on north of Stang. Who did the one to the south? Because it looks like that was all cleaned up too.
That was Bill, property owner on Stang Road there.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, it was nice that was all cleaned out too, so it'll be nice if it's clean the whole way.
Yeah.
All right. No questions? I guess we'll move on. I do have
one question for you, Kevin. I noticed, if you could just check it, in front of 114 Gray Bark, something's opening up in the road. There's just check, it might be a pothole opening or something. There's a lot of little pieces of concrete that kicked out, you know, enough to where you could twist your foot if you were walking. Not a big thing, but it's just in your course of travel. Check it out. In front of 114. You'll see it.
I'll check it out.
Sweep it off the street or maybe use a patch, I don't know. But didn't notice a hole, but I noticed all this concrete that was kicked up for some odd reason. I don't know what's going on there. But anyway, okay, that's what I wanted to bring forward. Do we have these to take care of?
Yeah, I'm going to do that
Oh,
next if you're done.
All right,
You done?
I'm done.
Okay. All right, there are two prepared resolutions here, both road projects that we did receive partial funding from the Ohio Public Works Commission. The first one is authorization to enter into Ohio Public Works Commission project agreement and award the bid upon full execution of the OPWC agreement, which has been done, for the Middle Ridge Road TR 32 resurfacing from Brownhelm Township boundary east to Quarry Road project. At the bid opening on April 23rd, those came in between $139,237 to $166,610. The county engineer reviewed those the lowest bid they did recommend, which is with Crossroads out of Columbia Station. So I'm not going to read through this, but I'm going to make a motion to go ahead and award this particular project to Crossroads.
I will second that.
Any other discussion? Okay, roll call, Chris?
This is the Middle Ridge, correct?
Yes, this is Middle Ridge.
Okay. Lynch?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes,
The
That is
number?
7324.
7324.
Yep. Okay, and the next one is authorization to enter into the Ohio Public Works Commission project agreement award the bid upon full execution of the OPWC agreement for the Moss Canyon Drive project replacement from, and this is the addresses from 843 to 851. So that'll be my motion.
I will second.
And that is going to be awarded to Dennis Concrete, who was the lowest bidder, and the bid range was $104,295 to $125,875. Roll call.
Lynch?
Yes.
Euring?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes. That's 74.
Yes, sir.
Kevin, hopefully they've already gotten us in their schedule since we discussed that before.
I've spoke with both contractors, and they're both to be getting right on it,
Okay.
pretty much.
Okay, cemeteries, I know that's coming. Okay, Township Administrator Linda Ashley.
We've just, right now is grant season. So we're just filling out, Kevin and I are going to be working on the OPWC for next year. Mini grant reimbursement, which we talked about earlier. Cemetery grant opened. I have all the information. I do need to get some pictures. I'll talk to Kevin about it. And I'll be filing for that. It's a $2,500 grant. We're going to be doing some tree trimming maintenance, and it's like a $2,900 project. So most of it would be covered by the grant. Morgan's doing some work right now on the variances that we have in drawers that we don't have any idea of what the variances are or for who. So she's doing a spreadsheet so that we can actually do a search on it if we need to find out if anybody's got a variance and when it was and what it was for. Just some more record keeping, trying to do some filing. That's about it. We're just keeping
Makes
busy.
it easier, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's nice to have somebody
Right.
that can do a lot of data entry because we don't have time to do it. So, and she's keeping up with the files and she's organizing things, and it's been very, very nice.
Yeah, it's nice when you have extra resources.
Yeah, and Sam appreciates it too because his drawers are nice and organized. I'm your assistant.
Good. All right, are there any questions for Linda?
No, I have no questions.
And probably with that, between the two, of you, let's look at the mini grant for the next year. And there's always the option, and I know it'll be at the stormwater meeting, they may bring it up. We might want to have something ready to put in. Obviously, that tributary would have been an option, but, you know, you got to get that done now. But if there's leftover funds, we may be able to apply again this year. Don't know if they'll let us or not, but if they say something, we might want to be ready to go.
Yeah, in years past, we've asked and they told us no.
Yeah, I know. Well, if we can have it, for sure, we'll want it for next year if we have it done by December, because I know this year, and I think it's because they had changeover in personnel, they never sent out a notice when it was open.
And one of the mini grants for next year is going to be leveraged
Right,
for
with the OPWC, exactly.
So that's, I think it's Rustic Hill, isn't it, Kevin?
Yes.
It's got a catch basin in it, so
Yeah.
we'll be working on
That
it.
may be complicated, but we'll have to talk with Don Romankek, and it may have to be Bob Cliver, because they're the ones that discussed this at a county association meeting once, so we're going to hold them to it, because that'll improve our scoring, hopefully, in that project. Okay, great. And David, as far as the yard waste recycling, moving on to the phase 2, which really we cover in the second meeting of the month, but I know that you worked with Linda to get the stormwater credit application turned in. Have you heard anything back on that?
Okay, before we go further on this, I'd like to make a motion. I should have done this last meeting, I didn't, but just so that we can say that those applications were authorized. Just make a motion to authorize trustee David Seary to file an application for a stormwater fee credit for township properties at 7530 Oberlin Road and 7491 Oberlin Road that was due on July 1st, 24.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call, Chris?
I need all of the information
He's gonna
first
hand it to you.
before-
I don't want to. There.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll wait till you get that put in, Chris. While she's doing that, though, David, have you heard anything back, or Linda, from?
Yes, I did have a conversation with Don today. I spoke with him today, asked him what the status was on it. Says it looks like the yard waste was approved for at least a 30% credit for the gravel lot, because it does have a gravel lot and drive back there. He didn't think it would qualify for anything more for the stormwater, because what you were asking for, because it removes items that would otherwise wind up in the stormwater
Which
courses.
they would, because Kevin can attest to how many grass clippings get shot into the road if they
Yeah.
can't be picked up.
Okay, but he thought that was a bit of a stretch. He didn't think
Okay.
it would qualify for that,
Okay.
but he did think that the gravel credit would be
Okay.
approved. And as far as the garage property, he said KEM Engineering is reviewing the pond, the drawings in the pond, and is looking for a value to assign to that detention basin.
Okay,
So I
good.
wanted to let you know those two items.
Great.
So it looks like we got at least a 30% credit on the yard waste, which I believe was...
Anything's better than nothing. That's
Yes,
a cost
it is.
savings
Yes, it
that'll
is.
come year
Over
after year.
$100, so,
Will they reimburse us for the previous years?
well, that's a good question.
Okay.
That's something else.
Lynch,
Yes,
Euring,
Yes,
Abraham.
Yes,
we were buying you time to get that
Thank
typed
you.
in. All right,
I'm
thanks,
going to let you
Dave.
know those two items.
Okay, yeah, but see if there's, it'd be nice if they could give it for the previous years, but we'll see. But, because again, that's our residents' money, even though we're paying it here, that money's our residents'. All right, we'll move on to, let's see, on the complaints, what's here that can be addressed? I guess the only one, David, I don't know if you've heard any more from First Energy on the
No, I've
lighting
had
upgrade.
nothing.
Okay,
There might be a couple more lights to be added to that.
okay. All right, then we'll move on. In the unfinished business for the items that are assigned to specific individuals, anything to bring up?
nope,
I do have one, David. The Solid Waste Consortium, their next meeting is July 17th, and Jamie did send out an email, just wants to make sure people are attending so that they know there's a quorum, because they know the July meeting,
You attend that, are you open on that night? Would you be able to do that? Because I have work considerations. I'm dealing with a different work schedule and it's screwing up my evening meetings that I used to be able to make on a regular basis. Now it's,
Well, if I get one done, I should be able to make it. And they're still going to be at where the Port Authority is, so.
What time was that, Neil?
It's at 5:30 PM at the Lorraine County Solid Waste Learning Center, South Abbey. I'll attend for David there.
I don't know if I'll be able to make the 18th. I don't know. We'll try, but I don't. That would be the county association. I would
Okay.
like to, but I will see.
I'll definitely be there.
I will know tomorrow.
Okay.
But I believe, Don reminded me, that's going to be the annual stormwater meeting?
Yes.
Also?
Right, that's the one I announced, and it'll start at 6 o'clock. Normally at 6:30, they open it up where they might have something there to eat, though that's an option, and the meeting for Lorraine County Township Association starts at 7. Okay, I don't have any other business, so our next regular meeting will be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, July 23rd. Kevin, any need for any work session at all?
No, sir.
Okay. Any need for an executive session?
No, sir.
Hearing none, then I'll make a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Or second, you're seconding it. then.
Seconded.
Yeah, he made.
Lynch?
Yes.
Abraham?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes.